Hey guys, Austin here, and welcome back to another Chaos Awakens video here on the channel. I cannot believe I am saying that, especially after the video I just put out a few hours ago, but to sum up everything that's happened in the past few hours, they updated the mod. Crazy, huh? I make a video talking about how it's been 3 years since there's been an update, and an update comes out. It's almost like it was all into... Anyway, we're just going to go over this update today. It is a massive update, so sit back, relax, enjoy. I'll try my best to go over everything. There are a few things I've already planned on skipping over because there's a lot of content in this update. It is massive. And let's go over the most important thing. What versions is it available for? 1.16.5. But before you freak out and say, oh, I wish it was 1.20, they have confirmed that this is most likely the last major update for 1.16, and their next update will be an overhaul for 1.20.1, I believe. And then going forward, we'll see how things go. But right now, let's go over Chaos Awakens update 0.12.0.0. I know that's a mouthful, but let's just dive right into it. So new items. We got a bunch of new items in Chaos Awakens. We have the addition of the ultimate crossbow joining the ultimate set. It is crafted with a crossbow, your your titanium, your platinum, and your uranium all combined together to make this ultimate crossbow. It is a work in progress. It is incomplete, and currently it uses normal arrows for, well, arrows. So this is the thing you would expect. It takes a very long time to charge up, and once it's charged up, it fires one shot. It's not rapid fire yet. And it has, of course, all the abilities that the normal crossbow could have on its enchant. So that's currently the ultimate crossbow. After that, we have 3 new boats added in. We have the Mesozoic boat, the Dense Wood boat, and the Crystal Wood boat. They're boats, so if you really want to see them, I'll throw them onto the ground for you, but that's them. I know, they look beautiful. The boats are just amazing. Anyway, moving on, we have a crystal power chip, which is going to be used to actually convert some of the fossilized items into their respective spawn eggs, specifically the ones that are in the nether, it looks like. But that's a whole thing that we've already known about. We have pink tourmaline shard, which is now going to be used to smelt down to make the pink tourmaline nugget, which is used for the ingot, which is used, etc., for everything else. Then we have the cat's eye shard, same deal. It's going to be the thing that smelts down to make the nugget, which is going to be used to make the ingot, which is going to be used to make everything. We also have a new Jeffrey core. Yes, Jeffrey's making his debut in this mod. We'll be going over him later in the video. But this is the Jeffrey core. Currently has no use or recipe, but I imagine this is going to be the type of item that's used to make possibly Big Bertha in the future, like a boss item, like how orespawn was in the past. Yes, you guys did know Chaos Awakens is orespawn. I shouldn't have need to mention that, but I just felt like I needed to. After that, we have the addition of quinoa making its way back into the mod. We have quinoa salad, and quinoa seeds. You will be able to plant and grow quinoa to your heart's content. Moving on, let's talk about all the updated textures, and there is a lot of updated textures, like a lot. So I'm going to try my best to go over it. So the entire Cat's Eye set has gotten an updated texture. This is what the armor set currently looks like. I like the eye in the center of the chest piece. Amethyst item has gotten a updated texture. The entire pink tourmaline set has gotten a texture, including the armor updated. This is what it now looks like. By the way, this stuff is in this version, but nowhere near probably final. There's a chance they'll change it again, considering it's changed a lot. Crystal Wood set, entire set has gotten an update, as well as the Kyanite set. And then we have the addition of the pink tourmaline nugget and ingot, and the cat's eye ingot and nugget. Those were not in the mod before, I don't think, or they've just gotten their textures updated. That was not entirely clear to me. By the way, guys, feel free to leave comments down below if you have any questions, comments about everything I'm going over. Next up, the crystal beetroot on a crystal wood shard stick thing has gotten its update, as well as the crystal wood shard. Its name has been changed. It actually used to be just called crystal shard. It is now called crystal wood shard. The radish, the crystal apple, crystal carrot, crystal beetroot, and crystal potato have all had their textures updated. This is what they look like now. We have the normal radish, lettuce, chicken eggs specifically, the cherries, the strawberries, the cheese, the candy cane, the corn, the tomato, the raw corn dog, the cooked corn dog, the raw crab meat, the cooked crab meat. All of the apple spawn egg cows and the crystal gator have all had their textures updated, along with the lettuce chicken spawn egg and the stink bug chicken spawn egg. Not specifically the mobs themselves, but just the spawn eggs have had their textures updated, if that makes any bit at all sense. After that, the rat sword, fairy sword, both have had their textures updated. They look a little bit better now. Let me show you in my hand. That's what they look like. That's what we're rocking with, so pretty cool. After that, the entire ultimate set has had their textures updated, believe it or not. Yes, the entire ultimate set, including the armor, which is sitting peacefully over here, has had its textures updated, as well as the ultimate apple has had its texture updated. The Hercules beetle spawning has had its textures updated. And let's go over the new mechanics in the game. So first thing to talk about is the ultimate gear. You know that the ultimate set that we all know and love is now fireproof. I don't remember if it was back in the day, but it's fireproof now, so that's a thing. The critter cage, the thing we like using like a Pokeball, no longer will trap entities larger than or as big as an ent. You can blacklist entities in the config file if you wish to, but right now, the ent, or anything bigger than an ent, can no longer be captured in a critter cage. That's very interesting. Because if you guys remember in the past, you could sort of throw these things at any boss and capture them. Other than that, the chainsaw is now made activated regardless of whether or not it's right-clicked on a block or not. So the Slayer Chainsaw has now gotten that addition. Speaking of additions, let's talk about all the new blocks that have made their way into the world. So again, this is very, we'll say, summarized. I'm not going to show you every block type in every detail because a lot of blocks have been added, but let's go through it as best we can. So we have the ginkgo sapling has been added. The Mesozoic wood type entirety has been added. Same with the dense wood. And then we have some new robo blocks as well. I only put 3 in the chest, but I'll just show you if you type robo and creative. As you can see, there's a bunch of variations, some wood and stuff. And I imagine this is going to be used for the dungeon that we'll be showing off at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. The crystal wood has added a trapdoor and door variant. We have a flower stem as well as a bunch of crystal flowers. We have some brand new plants making their debut to the mod. We have swamp milkweed, primrose, daisy. We also have a dense orchid. We have, however you say that flower, small bush, tall bush, small carnivorous plant, big carnivorous plant, and Mesozoic vines. This is all going to be in the new biomes that, again, we'll be showing off at the end of this video. We have some other crazy things like dense farmland, terra preta farmland, and tar. Yes, tar has been added in. We have latazole. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but it sounds like a type of soil. Crystallized crystal gator as the fossil has been added in as a block. We have the crystal defossilizer, which has been added in. We have the regular defossilizer. Now we have the crystal one as well. And sky moss carpet has been added in as well as a bunch of variations for marble blocks. So if I type marble in creative, as you can see, marble has now just gotten a bunch of variations that you can build with now. That is currently a Chaos Awakens only item. I believe, though, we don't necessarily have marble in vanilla Minecraft, but in newer versions we have tough, which I wonder if that's going to play a part in this. And if I type crystal, I won't go over all of it, but we have a bunch of crystal leaf carpet designs or whatever have been added as well. Now let's move on to... I won't go over all the updated textures. There is a bunch. I should also mention in the description of this video, not only will there be a download link to the mod, but also a link to their sort of, if I remember to put it, like their patch notes, which is also available on the CurseForge page if you view it. But if I remember, I'll just put a link directly to it where it goes over all of this. So you guys do not have to worry too much about that. There has been a few mechanic changes. The crystal defossilizer is a new type of defossilizer, which I just went over. It's used to sort of defossilize the crystal mobs. The Robo Crate is a new type of storage block that can store 9 or more items. Let me grab that. I didn't realize that was a thing as I'm rereading this. So this is the Robo Crate. As you can see, it's like a chest. Really cool, but it's like a robotic chest. I really like that. The leaf carpet hitboxes have now been reworked to be more accurate. Their textures are no longer look like they're floating in midair. So that's all the leaf carpet blocks. And they've replaced crystal energy with energized kyanite that made the crystal energy an item, and it will no longer randomly explode when broken. So if you guys remember, the old crystal energy item would blow up if you held in your inventory for too long or whatever, but now no longer will do that. So that's very interesting. But now let's go over the mobs. So we have 4 mobs, but one brand new one that is debuting for, you could say, the second time in the mod, but it is Robo Jeffrey. If you guys remember Jeffrey from the original orespawn, he has now been re-added and making him the second official boss added into Chaos Awakens. Guys, here he is, Robo Jeffrey. Can you not destroy my stuff? Anyway, this is Robo Jeffrey. He has very powerful attacks. He has a Jeffrey Punch, a Seismic Slam, a Piston Leap, and as for his stats, he has 3 phases. He has neutral, aggressive, and then death. As for his neutral phase, As of this update, Robo Jeffrey will simply wander around when he doesn't have a target. His aggressive mode is he will use one of his 3 current attacks that I just mentioned as mentioned. Sorry, as mentioned, but I'm reading this as I'm talking. There are plans to expand upon his current set of attacks and mechanics. So he's not finished. He'll get more stuff in the future, but right now he is put into the mod and you guys can use him to your heart's content. Upon death, Robo Jeffrey will drop down on his knees and his core begins to lose stability. His physical core will then proceed to discharge all of its energy, forming a large AoE explosion. Before detaching, finally, he will go limp and disappear, which will give you his Jeffrey core, which we've already shown. So, very powerful creature. I do want to actually see if we can show that off really quickly. So let me Royal Guardian him to death. All right, let's see. So he does suck you in with his explosion. And then his items all fall out and he falls to the ground, like it said, and he disappears. As you can see, all of his items are on the ground, including the core, which is right there. In typical orespawn fashion, a bunch of items have dropped. That's what we like to see. Moving on to the next mob, which we've seen before, the Robo Pounder. I'm going to move a bit further away. So here's the Robo Pounder in all its glory, reworked. Once again, the Robo Pounder has a piston punch attack, a side sweeping attack, a Dyson dash attack, a Dom stomp attack, a ground slam attack, and a rage run. As for his stats, he has multiple different phases. He has his neutral phase, which is him wandering around like he's doing right now. His aggressive phase, which is where he will use all of the attacks in his repertoire. His rage mode, which will attack as he recklessly attempts to eliminate the targets and no regards for his surroundings. And then he will have a cooldown where after he's enraged, he will sort of be vulnerable and he'll be rebooting himself and then go back into his aggressive state. And then he has a crashed mode as well, where he has a chance of crashing, if that makes sense. I don't want to read all of it because, like I said, there's a lot of information. I don't want to spoil too much. But again, let's eliminate him. See his death animation, and then there are his items. And then finally, on the Robo category at least, let's go over the Robo Warrior. So here he is, looking a bit different than he did before. So he has, of course, his uppercut attack, laser burst attack, charge shot attack, and he has 3 modes: his neutral state, aggressive state, and shielded. Neutral, again, wanders around. Aggressive, he will use all of his attacks. And then shielded mode, he will deploy a purple shield around in order to regenerate. While it regenerates, the Robo Warrior will be unable to attack or move, hence the whole regenerative state. And then, of course, when he dies, he'll drop all his loot, so let's make him die. Oh, that was pretty funny. And then he drops all of his items, including the famous ray gun, which still does what you would expect it to do, guys. Don't worry, ray guns still being ray gun things. Moving on, let's talk about the Hercules Beetle. You guys know it. You guys love it. You guys know it's been reworked about 10 times this mod. Let's go over the Hercules Beetle in its new form, and hopefully the last. Here is the Hercules Beetle. He has a Beetle Ram attack, a Mad Munch attack, and he has multiple statuses. He has his docile status where he will be sleeping, regenerating any lost HP that he has lost in the previous battle. A passive mode, again, roaming around. An offensive mode, he will use all of his attacks, including flying. And he will have a defensive mode where he will perform defensive maneuvers and other techniques, including flying, to mitigate the damage it takes. And then finally, his death, he will let out a roar, and he'll drop his items. Let's see. And he has dropped some items. It does specifically say that his death is varied based on the top, like his dropping of his items is very based on his death. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but as you can see, he dropped his big hammer, one of the weapons used to craft the Royal Guardian sword. And I believe that is all the things noted in terms of new mobs. There's a bunch of updated things to other mobs and entities and whatnot, but I don't want to go over all of that. A bunch of AI changes to a bunch of how everything operates, so do not worry about that. And finally, we have some new world generations, so I'm going to hop into a world and show you guys off some of the new biomes and structures. Let's get it. All right, here we are, everyone, in the first dimension, I should say, also biome, the dense forest. This is located in the favored red ant dimension. You guys know it, the massive tree-bound dimension that has giant mountaintops, etc. This is the dense forest. Also, we have a few other biomes to show off. We have the ginkgo forest, which I should be able to locate. Okay, for whatever reason, I couldn't find the ginkgo forest. It's not apparently able to be located at the moment. We also have the dense plains, which looks exactly like this. You can see some of the flowers and stuff that I showed off in the initial showcase. But this is currently, again, available in the red ant dimension. The place looks amazing. I don't know if you guys have been here since, you know, the last update, but this is currently what we are looking at. And of course, over here we have the Mesozoic jungle, which is another new biome that's been added in. And they specifically state that added many more world generation features to the new biomes and ones that are already present in past updates. So things have been fixed and made a little bit better. And I figure we should check out 2 of the new structures as well. So let's do it. So the very first structure I want to actually show you guys is located in the red ant dimension, also known as the robot dimension, and that is the Jeffrey dungeon. You can always see the boss bar, but this is where you will be encountering Jeffrey. As it is, just like the Emp dungeons, you will right-click the blocks, they will open, there'll be a bunch of pigs for some reason, then Robo Jeffrey is in the middle, ready to fight you, and of course you can kill him to your heart's content, avoid him, it's completely up to you, and then Robo Jeffrey will be defeated, and you will be able to collect his things. Keep in mind, it does specify that the Jeffrey dungeon is a placeholder at the moment, therefore there's a chance that it will be changed in the future and different things will be added, but this being the giant village dimension, I don't think the villagers like Jeffrey's house being right on top of them. Like, it's literally next to the villages, which is pretty funny. And I honestly can't wait to see all different villager mechanics that we can utilize now that this actually is the thing. But I think I actually found the next structure, which is the archaeologist structure, which can spawn in villages. It is in all village biomes, and it is the archaeologist house right here. If we enter it, let's see what's inside. Oh, what do you know? The defossilizer is here, as well as a chest and some ore that you can actually grab. I don't think it's ore. I think it's, yeah, the fossilized illusioner, and then we have a fossilized witch. I'm assuming that's going to be random each time that you enter this place, and you can just use the defossilizer right here to fossilize to your heart's content. And of course, like any other villager, as long as you have the block down, you can probably create your own villager if you so desire. Now, I actually wanted to find him because I wanted to see, does he have any unique trades? I imagine he will, but right now, yes, 3 fossilized salmon, and it'll give you 5 emeralds. That's actually really cool that we have an actual trader for the fossilized machine. I think that's really, really nice. As for other features, we have the crystal geodes, which have been added in for the cat's eye and pink tourmaline, as well as new biomes specifically for the mining paradise dimension, which I think is the unstable ant. Or it's not red ant, it's not rainbow ant. I think that was unstable ant, but that right now is still work in progress. And as for changes, a bunch of biomes have been changed, as well as some structures. They've reworked all the entries and added a new ginkgo entry as well. So that's it for the update. Not really much else to go over, but there was a lot in this update. And again, I didn't go over everything in detail. I do apologize for that, but this would have been like an hour-long video. It already is dipping past 20 minutes, so I got to keep that viewer retention. But hopefully you guys did watch until the end. If you guys enjoyed, consider leaving this a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you want to download this new update for Chaos Awakens, it'll be linked down below in the description. Otherwise, you guys are more than welcome just to wait passively for the next update. And let me know what you guys think. Do you like the update? Do you think it was worth a 3-year wait? I'm curious to know your guys' comments down below. And of course, if there's something I missed to go over that you want to add, any of the mod developers that are watching this video, if you want to add something that I might have missed or misspoke, feel free to correct me. It's up to you. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. And of course, like I always say, if this mod continues to update, hopefully not taking 3 years, I will plan on making more videos on it. I hope to see you guys there. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. Goodbye.